Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. Super Bowl 60 champions, Seattle Seahawks. That sure has a nice ring to it.
It does. Feels great.
Feels great. It's been a few years. So it's nice to see us back on the top of the mountain again.
Yeah, that was that was a good old-fashioned butt kicking, wasn't it?
It kind of was, wasn't it? I mean, you've been saying it the whole time, the Seahawks by a lot. This is a one-sided game. I mean, you were kind of right, but also at the same time, I mean, that's still a one-possession game going into half. I mean, even though we were, 6-0 and it felt like it was 24-0.
It was 9-0 at half.
Well, okay, 9. Well, late field goal, right?
Yeah.
It still felt like it was, one bad bounce of the football and the game could completely turn on its head. I wasn't quite sure about that one until the pick six.
I got to tell you, I was more nervous on offense than I was on defense. I was like, I hope we don't do something stupid and turn the ball over. Whereas on defense, I just felt like, yeah, I mean, and for the first time pretty much all season, we blitzed, and we blitzed a lot.
And it wasn't linebacker blitzes.
No, it was Devin Witherspoon coming from the nickel corner. So
yeah, and they really had no answer. Well, they had no answer for our defense in general, but they had no answer for those blitzes either.
In all fairness, we didn't have a lot of answers for theirs too. But
what do you mean? I mean, our running back ran for 136 yards.
Wasn't that something in the first half where he had more yards than the rest of the team combined?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
So many stories. I think the thing to be perfectly honest about is the fact that we were healthy. Our entire starting defense was on the field yesterday.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
Well, and we talked about it earlier. I mean, having Witherspoon injured at the beginning of the season and a couple other guys, I mean, it just made him stronger at the end of the season.
Julian Love was out for over a month. Eamon Yuri's missed a few games along the way. And, it was – that defense is – I'm not sure it's done. This could be just the beginning for that defense. It's something special.
It is. It is for sure.
And the fact we got the cap room to pay some guys too is the other thing. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, I think, what do we have, like the fifth most cap space going into next year?
Right.
And really, like, our free agents aren't even, that big of a deal. I mean, Woolen, Mafe, Kobe Bryant, Job, those are our defensive free agents.
So you want to start that list again, and you want me to?
All right. So,
do you realize that he didn't play the entire first half? They went with Job, Love, Eamon Mori, Witherspoon, and who am I missing? Job, Love, Eamon Mori, Witherspoon, and anyway.
Yeah.
One of the guys, didn't Eamon Mori have to go into the tent or something? Someone had to go into the tent. Was it Witherspoon that went into the tent for a bit?
Yeah, I think so.
It was
quick.
One of the DBs goes into the tent, and he has to go play. Very first play, touchdown.
Yeah.
That guy.
So, all right, let's go through our free agents super fast, and then we'll get back to the football game.
Sure.
So, Woolen, I think you bring him back.
No.
If it's cheap.
No. He's a liability. He gone.
Okay. Mafe.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you pay him. Kobe Bryant.
That's the other one. Yes. He's our other safety. Yes.
Yeah, I would bring him back.
Well, I think, once again, it depends on what kind of dough these guys want and what else is out there, and also what we have, as rookies on the practice squad and everything. But yes, we're not going to be able to pay them all, but keep going.
No, we can't pay them all, but I mean...
So go through the list, and then we'll decide who we should pay.
Josh Jobe.
Probably should pay him.
So those are our defensive free agents.
Who's on offense?
Kenneth Walker. That's a tough one.
He going to want $10 million a year.
Does this sound awfully familiar to Sean Alexander? He goes and he wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Alexander was a little older, though. He was 7-8 years in the league when he got paid. Walker's only 3.
He was, but he was coming off setting the NFL record for touchdowns in a single season.
You and I could have set the record for NFL touchdowns with that offensive line. I mean, you could have literally driven a car behind that line and still found a hole.
True.
I don't know what he's going to want, man. And that's the tough thing. We've kind of got, as they called it yesterday, a smash and smash at running back right now. Look, he is a liability in the passing game. And don't think that didn't show up yesterday. He can't block and he can't catch. He can run like no other, but you look at how many balls he dropped in the flat yesterday, I can think of at least 2, maybe 3 easy completions.
Well, I don't know about easy. A couple of those were behind him.
Yeah, but that's a play that Chardonnay makes all day long.
Yeah.
And he can't block, which is why Hulani was in there a lot on third down, especially in the second half when Donald had to go back and throw. I mean, so his value is there, but I don't know if he gets top-line money. Hopefully for us, we could get him on like a $315, something like that, at a $5 million a year. I don't think he's worth 10 like a Saquon is, but let's see, man. That's the tough one.
Well, I think Super Bowl MVP tax might come into play a little bit too.
You see, people are going to talk about that, but the reality is that our offensive line was healthy. Charles Cross, our left tackle, is the highest paid tackle in football for a reason. Look at what happened to New England's left tackle. Just got murdered yesterday.
Well, both of those rookies got just creamed.
As opposed to our veteran guys that, stood up and our rookie should have been an all-pro this year at left guard. So,
yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the list.
And then the only other kind of regular guy is Shaheed, which I would love to see him bring back because, I don't know what Cooper Kupp's going to do.
Yeah, look, Kupp's definitely on the way down, and I'm nothing mean against Coop. Got old, man. You can only do it for so many years.
Yeah.
Shaheed's an interesting one. I think for him it comes down to what it's going to cost us because essentially he's a punt returner. But as we saw yesterday, if other teams want to just take that away from you, they can. I mean, they gave him one opportunity in 12 or 14 yesterday to actually return one.
Yeah.
So while there is value to starting on the 35-yard line every time as opposed to maybe the 25-yard line.
Yeah, but at the same time, and having a guy like that with that speed, they missed that one just long pass.
Oh,
Donald
missed a number of passes yesterday. We'll get to that. But
that opens up the underneath for
I don't disagree.
JSN.
I think it depends on how much he's going to want.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, this talks about our coaching staff, but, I would think these players might want to take a little bit of a pay cut to stay in an organization like Seattle where, this is the start of something special because it's a young nucleus. It's a young head coach. He's not going anywhere. I don't think John Schneider's going anywhere. Ownership is going to be a question, but, hopefully whoever it is comes in and just lets those guys do their job. But, man, if I'm a young guy or somebody like Kenneth Walker, 4 or 5 years in the league, I'm looking to kind of hitch my pony to this show and ride this thing out as long as I can because we got a really good football team. And it's probably only going to get better as more players have played in this defense for a longer period of time. I am worried about the offensive coordinator thing. I'm sure we'll talk about that coming up because he really did a good job with stuff. But I'm looking to bring back as many guys as possible if they are on friendly contracts.
Yeah, and I think, look, it is going to come down to money. Hopefully, it also comes down to the players, right? Some of these guys haven't been paid at all yet. They might have been playing for $600,000-$700,000, which I know to the average person is a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But these guys are looking for that contract number 2, which is the one that sets them up for life.
Yeah.
And the question's going to be, for someone like a Kobe Bryant, does he want 5 a year or does he want to try to get 9 or 10? If he wants to stay and win, he probably has to pay for less. If he wants to test the market and go play for the Raiders, then he probably gets that and wins 4 games a year and enjoys getting the crap beat out of him every week. So there's a trade-off there, and we can't answer those questions. Hopefully the players are having those conversations amongst them going, hey, if we all take maybe a 10-15% discount, we can all stay.
Yeah, and then do this again next year.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting next, few weeks, months of free agency and coaching changes, but let's get back to the football game.
Well, real quick on that, just on the offense, because I was just thinking about it. Remember we're going to have Torrey Horton back next year.
We are.
And he was really starting to show some life. I think quietly we have a top 5 tight end in the league, and everybody's kind of glossing over that. And once again, he came up big again yesterday.
Well, didn't he have the second most touchdowns on the team?
Yeah, and he had like 60 receptions. He blocks like a beast.
Yep.
I mean, he might have 80 receptions next year.
Yep.
Because he can not only play from the tight end position, you can line him outside in the slot as well. So I think there's a lot of positives here as well, that even though I don't think we keep everything. Shaheed, maybe not. Walker, maybe not. Maybe they go say, hey, let's see if Chardonnay can do it.
All right, so if you had to keep one of the two, Walker or Shaheed, I think I'm keeping Walker because ACL injury for Charbonnet as a running back, I think that might take him a little longer to get back. So you might be missing Charbonnet for the first quarter, half of the season maybe, before he's really back up there. So I think if you keep your running back, that we can fill in the void at wide receiver. Like you said, Torrey Horton will be back. Kupp comes back.
Don't forget Bobo,
a broken hand, couldn't even play in the Super Bowl. And our wide receiver, or our receiving tight ends, I would let Shaheed walk, and I'd probably look at keeping Walker.
To me, it would come down to money, because I think the value of Shaheed is more as a returner than it is as a receiver. Yeah, maybe he blows the top off an offense every once in a while and hits that 60-yard bomb, but to me, it's money. You know me, I've been on record, and this is nothing against Ken Walker, but I think running backs have a shorter shelf life than most players in the NFL, and at the end of the day, with a third or fourth round pick, there's probably a running back at Georgia or Alabama or someone that can do pretty much what he can. So
yeah, as a fifth, sixth round pick,
that cost you $700,000 a year instead of $10 million. So because there's $9 million I get to spend somewhere else now.
Yeah, my only issue is if you are a run first offense, which is what you want to be, you need to have some sort of consistent ball. Somebody good ball security. He doesn't fumble. I think you need to have just kind of that peace of mind that we can run this football 30 times a game, and we're not worried about fumbles or making misreads like a rookie might be.
Yeah, your point's not lost, and nor is it invalid. I mean, it's all valid. I mean, this is the beauty of the NFL, man. When you've got a good team and good players, this whole salary cap thing gets in the problem. That's what makes the game great. That's why we're not talking about the Dodgers again. We're sitting there going, we're talking about, these teams were 60-1 to start the season.
Yes.
I mean, this is awesome. This is why this game is so good. But anyway, back to the game.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel, and if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
Baseball, they always say, is a game of inches. Sam Darnold threw some passes in that first quarter that how they weren't intercepted, I don't understand. And all of them would have been pick sixes, most likely. I mean, they were jumping routes, and he just seemed to find a way to just feed the ball right over the defender's hands. It was pretty amazing.
I think maybe the man upstairs was smiling on Sam Darnold last night because, you're absolutely right. That first possession, he threw a couple of those out routes, and the corner was like two steps in front of our guy.
Yes.
And somehow it either got knocked down or it didn't get, like you said, because there would have been nothing but green grass in front of those guys.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the ball bounces your way. And so let's stay on the Sam. Well, the other thing is that, so obviously New England came out with a game plan to jump routes early.
Yes.
They're thinking Sam's going to be check down Charlie and let's jump everything. And
which I thought was a good idea.
Nearly worked.
Yeah.
The only problem is Kenneth Walker started smashing him in the ground game. And then we did have a couple of deep shots. The first one immediately to me comes to mind was the bomb to Shaheed. That ball was 4 feet underthrown.
Yeah.
If that ball's out in front, he's still running.
Yep.
So, I personally don't think Donald had a very good day. I think the only thing he didn't do was turn it over. And maybe that was enough yesterday.
I think that was enough because he only completed 50% of his passes.
And what did he even get 200 yards?
I think he was at like 202.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a big day, but like you said, he didn't need to have a big day because we're a run-first offense. And Kenneth Walker just kind of controlled the game, 136 yards on the ground, big rushes when he needed to. That was fun to watch.
There's something else I want to bring up about yesterday's game.
Okay.
There are 3 phases in football.
There is.
Well,
So are you disappointed that Jason Myers was not the MVP?
I'm not disappointed, but there was definitely a few text messages flying around on the group chat yesterday afternoon. And of course, I'd had a few pops. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a good time. But I'm sitting there going, could you really give it to the kicker? And I'm sitting there going, what was he, 5 for 5, the extra point?
Yep.
Didn't have a bad kickoff all day.
Nope.
There's an argument there.
I mean, I would not have been surprised if we don't score a touchdown and that is a field goal only game.
Right.
I think he's got to be the MVP.
I got to tell you, he might be a little dirty this morning.
A little bit.
I'm sure there was a little bonus check in that for him if he wins that award too. So
Well, I don't know if you think agents are writing bonuses in for kickers if they win the MVP. Because that must be like a $10 million
can you
bonus.
imagine that on DraftKings yesterday? Jason Myers to win the MVP.
So I was looking. So at one point he was down to plus 1,000.
So they were actually considering it.
Yes.
Because that's only 10-1.
Yeah, because after he kicked the
only.
first couple I looked, he was at like a plus 1,800. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, interesting. And then he kept kicking them, and
That's
then it was
almost-
like plus 1,200, plus 1,000.
That's almost worth like a lazy 10 spot on there, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, as the game was going, you kept thinking like, who's the MVP? And it was either him or Christian Gonzalez because that guy saved so many big plays.
I don't know what he gets paid, but whatever it is, it ain't enough.
And you want to tell me University of Oregon's not loving that visual of him reaching out to get the ball with the big old Oregon O in the middle of his tattoos
That guy,
on his arm?
That guy can flat play. I mean, he can flat play football.
I mean, he single-handedly kept the Patriots in that football game.
Yeah, he knocked down 3 or 4 balls that were 6 if he doesn't. Yeah. No, I mean, that kid can play.
No, it was good. And then, as we predicted, you get up into a lead, put a little pressure on him, late game turnovers.
Yeah, no, that was, you could see that one coming a little, like they were starting to press. And they have to, you got 5-6 minutes left in the game. That's how that works. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta air one out every once in a while. But those were pretty terrible decisions. They weren't even 50-50 balls. Like, they were bad.
Yeah, that one, I mean, he could have fair caught that one in the middle of the field.
Correct.
And there were a couple others. I think Kobe Bryant had one that got knocked out of his hands. He was coming across the middle trying to
Correct.
catch. I mean,
Correct.
there was a few that should have
Yeah.
been there. And I mean, what was it, 6 sacks, almost 7 if that would have been a fumble recovery instead of an interception. So,
Right.
I mean, we beat that guy down. Well, who we beat down was their left guard and their left tackle. I
Oh
feel
my
bad for those 2
God.
rookies.
I mean, and the old boys on our defensive line, are just licking their chops. They're just like,
Yes, please.
yeah, exactly. Like next, and the other thing is, don't forget that the rookie out of Notre Dame finally saw some game time. I think he had an ACL last year, but there's another guy that's just gonna get into that mix and give those veterans a bit of a blow and work into the system. And look, DeMarcus Lawrence ain't gonna be here forever. I mean,
He's got a few more years.
Maybe. But the key with those veteran guys is they can't play 65 snaps. They got to play 30, 35 snaps, and having a rookie to mix in helps with that problem. So
Yeah, speaking of DeMarcus Lawrence, did you see the post-game interview? So I think his wife is like due anytime.
yeah, 37
with
weeks.
number 6.
They were saying, yeah.
So in the post-game interview, she was asking, so have you heard from your wife? And he's like, wait, what? Is she in labor? Like freaking out? Like, well, you could have framed that question a lot better.
Right.
Instead of freaking the guy out, just won the Super Bowl. And it's like, oh, so have you heard from your wife? And it's like, no, is there something I need to know?
Do I need to be in a car somewhere
Yeah,
or
you
something?
could see the panic in his eyes. Like, I guess it's time for me to leave.
I'm
But-
pretty sure there was a player's assistant or someone that had a cell phone on their hip that was at beck and call if that call came. But
Yes.
yeah, anyway.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
The interesting thing is, he's so used to playing with the Cowboys, he didn't have to worry about playing football this late into the season. So he probably figured he was safe,
Exactly.
I mean,
well,
but,
he came out and said it. I had no chance of winning one with Dallas, so I might as well come to Seattle.
I enjoyed that just a little bit. And the fact that we got to win the thing on San Francisco's field didn't suck either.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, that visual of Mike McDonald standing on the field with all the confetti going around and just taking it all in. It reminded me a lot of Adley's, MLB debut where he hops in there, stands behind home plate, and just does that 360 of the field. I mean, that was...
Takes a couple of deep breaths and takes it all in.
Take it all in.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't get to do that. I would have liked to have done that.
Yes.
That would have been fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Was that not the best flyover ever?
Well, I was going to say, let's get into some of the non-game things.
Okay.
I thought that was a fantastic flyover.
Dude,
a double flyover.
I don't even know what that last plane was, but it was badass. I don't know what kind of plane it was, but it looked like it could blow some shit up.
Yeah, I think that might be like one of the new fighter jets that are in Portland that we see all the time flying over. That was awesome, but really the cameraman,
right?
I mean, that shot of the national anthem, and then he pans right up, and the planes are flying right over, and then right back. I think I should get an Emmy for that.
And then the guy hits the afterburners on the plane, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, you got to get a little fired up about that.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, one thing about the Super Bowl is it is a fantastic production, and I mean, before we talk halftime show, the pregame stuff was great. I mean, just the bringing on all the MVPs and
that bit was awesome.
Doing all that, the national anthem.
Okay, so that guy could sing.
He can sing. Brandy Carlisle can sing.
I don't know who that guy is. Grant knew who he was, but I guess, but he can sing.
Yeah, no, he's good. Brandy Carlisle was great. She's a Northwest native. She actually went to the same high school we went to.
There you go.
So I think she had maybe dropped out of high school by the time I got there as a sophomore, but.
Is she our age? I thought she was older than this.
I think she's like she's like a year older.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, same high school. So Hillary was pretty excited to see her because she knew her in high school.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was cool. I just thought the whole production was just really good. Like they put on a great show. The post game was fantastic. I loved the stage with the neon green going around, the NFL logo, and then they had the uplights on the trophy, and I just thought the whole presentation was really good. They do it right.
Yeah, and that's that might be the last one we see of Tirico and Collinsworth on the call. I don't know how many more years Chris is going to be doing this for. That and NBC, now that ESPN is also in the rotation, it's going to be probably 4 or 5 years before NBC gets it back, because I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon throws their hat in the ring for this at some point as well.
Yeah.
And the NFL, they're all about taking the bigger checks. So, that might be the last time you see Tirico and Collinsworth in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tirico's an Iron Man. Did you see after the game was over and they were clearing all the field? He was doing promos and stuff live from the Super Bowl for the Olympics.
Yeah,
he's on the Olympics call.
Yeah, he's literally he was probably on a plane right now.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I thought they did a great job calling the game. I mean, but Drake May's finding some rhythm. The Patriots starting to move the football, and then he throws it right down the middle, and we intercept, and he goes, just that long pause. I don't really have anything to say about that.
How about him trying to put the announcer's curse on everything?
Yeah.
Oh, Seattle's pitching a shutout. No!
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say that. Seattle hasn't given up a sack all day long. What do you know? Donald's in the dirt next. I'm like, stop. Just stop talking.
Yep, exactly. Ready to make big gains this winter? Portland Baseball Club's Sunday camps are back and better than ever. Start your morning with a 90-minute hitting camp, then stay for a 90 minutes of pitching and fielding to round out your game. Every Sunday through March for just $60 per camp. Work with top PBC coaches, sharpen your mechanics, and train like the pros right here in Portland. Spots fill fast, so grab yours now at portlandbaseballclub.com. That's portlandbaseballclub.com, where Portland's best ball players train. All right, let's get into the halftime.
Kid Rock was awesome.
Well, the live version of Kid Rock or the lip sync version of Kid Rock? Because I didn't watch it. I had the Bad Bunny show on. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but it was on. But I heard Kid Rock basically lip sync the whole thing.
Well, maybe. I wasn't, I was kind of milling around doing food and, that kind of stuff as well. I was checking the brisket and doing all that kind of stuff. So, then we had to take Kid he left here at halftime to go hang out with some of his friends. So we were in and out ourselves. So the answer is, I don't know.
But wasn't it like late too? Wasn't it like a 90-minute concert or something?
And that was the thing, right? Yeah, because I was watching and then I'm like, it's been like a half an hour.
Yeah.
And I literally missed the opening kickoff.
Oh.
So literally up the third quarter. So we turn on and it's like 14 minutes and 56 seconds in the third. And I'm like, wow, I'm really glad
Yeah.
Because it's easy to kind of just sit there and you figured they were going to give you some announcement that the game was
exactly.
on. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's one of my complaints. I always thought like the Puppy Bowl was on at halftime. Like you would think that it would just be on during the halftime. And then when it was over, they'd go back to the foot like, hey, kickoff's about to start. Here we go. But yeah, I heard that concert was like 90 minutes long and Kid Rock was on even like during the third quarter was playing. So.
Well, he did like 90-second version of what is it, Bawa Tabo, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I Am Kid Rock, and then he cut it short. It was basically Brantley Gilbert did the first bit, and Lee Bryce did a little bit, and then by the time Kid Rock came on, I'm like, I've been watching this for a little while, and yeah,
and there it was, yeah.
So anyway.
Yes, initial reports looking last night after the game, it looked like there was millions of people that turned over to that. I think one number I saw was there was over 3 million viewers on one stream and another 2.5 on another stream. So
multiply that by 5.
Well, I'm just talking specific streams of how many viewers were on those streams in like at that time. So
yeah, so
I figured there had to be a good 25, 30 million people watching that.
And then the other thing is obviously for an event like the Super Bowl, it's not one person watching.
Of course.
So yeah, those numbers are probably 4x.
Yeah.
I would say an average of 4 people in a household. You might have some bigger, some smaller, but
sure.
Anyway, yeah. So
the only thing I'll say about Bad Bunny, obviously the music has really good beat. It's all in Spanish, so you don't know what the heck's going on. If it's a different song, if it's the same song, whatever. But there was, they essentially made cornfields on the field. So you were wrapped around in these cornfields and you didn't realize it until after the fact. People were posting videos on social media, kind of like the streaker, that each of the pieces of grass, the clumps of grass was a person.
Yeah.
So they ran all the way out there.
Yeah.
They had to stand there for a half an hour. Probably didn't even get to see the show and then ran back off the field.
Yeah.
And then as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, all right, so you have these probably 7-8 foot tall grass because they were trying to make it look like they were in the fields. And you're sitting there and the camera's at field level catching everything. And I'm looking up into the stands and I'm like, I can't even see the 100 level. So if you're at the game and you got this $12,000, $20,000 seat on the 100 level, you can't even see what's going on the halftime show because the grass is so high, you can't even see them. To which, then it was like, well, this was fantastic for TV, but not in person, which, when we were there in 2015, 2014, Katy Perry's halftime show, the only thing you could really see was when she was walking out on the giant lion. Like everything else was little ants. And I'm sure that the TV production was way better, but.
Well, and I saw the Stones 20 years ago, so and the big controversy there was when they muted Mick's mic on a couple of the lyrics on the song. So it's been going on. There's always something.
Oh, it's always something. But it was a cool production. Obviously, didn't know what any of the music was, but I thought they did a good job on the production. Like I said, the Super Bowl's very well produced. It's a spectacle, and
I want George Strait.
Well. Hopefully next year this is 2 years in a row of very specific audiences for the music. So hopefully next year we can just get back to some.
Vanilla ice cream would be lovely.
Yes. All right. Let's get into what's coming next for the Seahawks. So we talked a little bit about free agents, got into the big ones, Walker, a couple of the defensive guys. We're losing our offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he gone.
This is the big one. And I just don't know who else is out there. And then the question is, you got to find somebody that kind of runs a similar offense. So what do you do?
So if I'm Mike McDonald right now, I'm going to John Schneider and saying, what's my budget? And hopefully Schneider's answer is whatever it takes. And go after an offensive coordinator. Not a guy that wants to be a head coach. Someone that can stick around for a while, because I think one of the things we saw with Seattle went their first run, in the teens, was we went through coordinators like wildfire as well. And that's what happens when you win, right? I mean, That's a thing. But you started to see the lack of continuity, and I think you started to see a lack of vision. And where I'm going with this is Mike McDonald had a very clear picture on what he wanted his defense to look like. They traded, they moved guys around, they drafted, he got his defense. There you go. There's the keys. No complaining now. You got your dudes. Schneider went and paid the guys. There's your defense. All right, he won a Super Bowl. Great. Here's more money. Find an offensive coordinator that's going to stick around. You've made a commitment to Sam Darnold, like it or not. The reality is he's won more games in the NFL than any other quarterback the last 2 years. I think it's time to stop the Sam hate.
Yes.
I mean, I know yesterday he had a rough day, but 2 weeks earlier he went toe-to-toe with the MVP. I mean, literally went jab for jab with Matthew Stafford and threw bombs all over the field.
Yeah.
And we don't really know how healthy he was. I mean, apparently he didn't practice all week. Maybe that's why his throws were off a little bit. So I think the key is, look, you've got your quarterback. You've got an offensive line. You have to – I think the OC is also going to have to accept that in this team, the defense comes first. And you might put your hand up and go, I want a fancy wide receiver. And Schneider's going to go, it ain't happening because I got to go spend my money on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
So just forget about it. Draft well, pick well, set up a scheme to run the ball because we want to win football games dirty, 21-10. That's the ideal Seahawks football score.
So where are you finding this guy? I mean, are you going into the college ranks and trying to find a guy? Are you looking at a quarterback's coach or a wide receivers coach or somebody like that wants to upgrade to a offensive coordinator?
No, I think you need to find an existing offensive coordinator that fits the scheme. And I haven't done enough homework out there to think about it. We just talked about this a minute ago before going on air about bringing the subject up. The answer is I want continuity in my program. And if you go that route of a guy on the way up, his next step is head coach, and you might have him 2-3 years, which in the NFL is kind of a long time anyway. But you got to find the guy that can make it work with the limitations that he's going to have on that offense, and that's just the way it's going to be because Mike McDonald's going to get his defense. He's the big cheese, and he's going to get that.
So here's a question for you. So Kubiak leaves. Does he leave behind the schematic of what his offense is? Or, I mean, obviously everything that's on tape and the playbook and all that kind of stuff, but do you think the philosophy of what his offense is left behind for the next offensive coordinator?
It's the property of the playbook's property of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. So there's a blueprint there for the next offensive coordinator to kind of follow and then maybe put his own fingerprint on as he goes.
Which sounds great, but that's usually every guy wants to do his own little thing, unfortunately.
That's the problem. Especially in today's NFL where it's pass heavy. And, look at what just happened in the Super Bowl. We won a Super Bowl by controlling the clock, running the football, kicking field goals when we needed to.
Well, do you know that 8 of the top 10 teams this year were the 8 best defenses?
I believe it.
So, I mean, yeah, there was the run of, Jalen Hurts and Patty Mahomes throwing it all around, but as we're starting to see, look, the Broncos should have been in that game yesterday. If Bo Nix doesn't break his ankle, we're playing the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah.
San Francisco, LA, balanced teams, good defense and good offense. You look at teams in the AFC. Why can't certain teams get there? Why can't Buffalo get there? Because they can't stop anybody and then give up 35 points a game.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
The Chargers, all in the same boat. They can't get deep in the playoffs when the weather gets shitty. Everyone gets banged up a little bit. You don't run as fast in January as you do in October. You're sore. You're hurting. So, anyways, to bring it back to OC for Seattle, I just hope they can find the right fit. And time will tell, man. And the other thing is, don't be surprised if Kubiak takes a couple of the underlings with him.
Oh, I could see a couple coaches going, we're going to lose some guys.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that, you win a Super Bowl and it's almost like you're penalized because everybody's been through all the hiring processes. So the big names are already all gone. So you're kind of stuck like, well, we just won the Super Bowl, but...
Look, we all remember 2 years ago when Schneider just sat very tight-lipped while Baltimore was in the playoffs, and the very next day we just hired Mike McDonald.
That's true.
So don't tell me he hasn't been making phone calls. But look, I'm sure there's a little professional courtesy, and I'm sure he went to Clint and goes, if you get offered the gig, are you taking it? And if he goes, yeah, I am. I want to be a head coach. Fine, that's the way that works.
I just need to know.
I need to know so I can get my house in order too.
Yeah.
And I think in the NFL, as we've all seen, a lot of guys aren't gonna screw another guy because at some point they may be working for that guy again. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we got one more topic to talk about football, and then I think we might put football to bed for a little bit.
Okay.
Seahawks are rumored to be going up for sale.
Correct.
Which I wholeheartedly believe that Robert Kraft or one of his goons leaked this information to try to distract the Seahawks during Super Bowl week. Because you know that the ownerships, like they have to have approval to sell a team. So you know that conversation was going on in owners' meetings. So who else would have leaked it? Who else would have benefited from saying Seahawks are going to go up for sale right after the Super Bowl than Robert Kraft?
I actually didn't even think about that.
Well, I mean, Deflategate,
Yeah, but
Spygate. I mean, this is what they do.
Yeah, but I don't think that affects the players. Do you?
No, not one bit.
I mean, they don't give a shit who writes the check.
No, but it's something for the media to talk about, something else for, the coaches to be asked about in press conferences and stuff. But nonetheless.
I thought what was funnier was the fact that what Jamie, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, was wearing to the North Carolina game the night before.
That's pretty good, huh?
Somebody wasn't invited to the owner's suite for the Super Bowl.
Yes. So who's going to be the next owner of the Seattle Seahawks? Who's got the $7 to $8 billion to pony up and do this?
Yeah, so there's two guys that come to mind right away. Obviously, Mr. Bezos has got to be, if not the top of the list, at the top of the list.
Yes.
I feel no reason it shouldn't stay in the Microsoft family, and I would have no problems if Steve Ballmer took over the operations, especially since I think John Schneider has enough street cred at this point to go, let me run the football team.
Yeah.
Go be the owner. Let me run the football team. And look what happens when I run the football team. I got rid of Pete Carroll, and look what happened. We won the football game again.
Yeah.
So I think those are the first two. Look, with the NFL, it's funny, right? Like, I would not be surprised if a guy like Mark Cuban threw his hand up. There's only so many opportunities to get an NFL football team, and I hate to tell you, the Dallas Cowboys aren't available.
Yeah.
Because even when Pops goes, kid's keeping it. So
Yeah.
that ain't for sale. Houston, I don't know what the deal is there, but, he's a Dallas guy. He's also got a private jet, so he can do whatever he wants. But, no, I would think it's I just didn't know Bezos was a sports guy.
Well, I don't know how much of a sports guy he is, but doesn't the NFL want to continue building this relationship with Amazon?
Well, and that's the key. Do they, or is it a conflict?
Oh, I think they want to keep building this. I think they'd love nothing more to have a Bezos being an owner. You're not going to have to worry about any financials. There's not a financial ownership group. It's one guy that's buying the team.
Yeah, and he don't even need the loan. He just writes the check.
He's a Seattle guy.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to keep the team in Seattle.
Well, Seattle's not going anywhere.
But you wouldn't
that
see
team
any
makes money.
reason for them to move. No excuse.
No team in the NFL is moving anywhere. No, look, you and I have had this conversation multiple times, and Bezos and Ballmer have been the two names.
Yeah.
I don't know if Starbucks has any interest. I don't know if.
I do not want Howard Schultz buying our team.
Well, I didn't say it was a good thing. I just
After what he did with the Seahawks or the
Supersonics
thing, he does not need to buy another franchise in Seattle. he can go buy the Charlotte Hornets and move him back to Seattle and redeem himself, I suppose. But yeah, we don't need him.
And then there's the whole, who's the Mariners guy? Stanton. I don't know if he's got the Bucks, but he's running a pretty good little outfit himself these days.
They are making some, but he needed Nintendo money to buy that, so I don't see him getting in there. I think it's Bezos is the number one, and I think everybody else is a distant second.
My only thing on that is I give Ballmer a little more credit than you do, just because he's been in professional sports for a decade, and like he's a sport guy, like he wants to be there. Bezos never struck me as the guy who wants to be at the football game, so maybe he is, and I don't know, but. Anyway,
we'll see. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of names coming out as announcement of the team being up for sale, and I just kind of hope that there's an owner already in place, and this is just kind of a formality at this point. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I gotta tell you, if you were looking to sell at a high point, now would be the time, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
So, one last question before we wrap up football: who's the Super Bowl favorite for 61?
Well, I think right now you got to say it's Seattle.
Right? That defense is all coming back.
The defense is all coming back. You're probably going to either re-sign Walker or another running back. So you're basically your offense is coming back. Mm-hmm. You're a year more experienced. You're pretty healthy. Like we made it through that run without any major injuries, other than Charbonnet. That one kind of hurt.
Did.
I think you got to look at Seattle as being
Running it
as
back.
the favorite.
All right, let's hope so.
Enjoyed Lineups and Lures? Like, share, and rate the show to help us grow. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time on Lineups and Lures.